Right now on Capitol Hill, lawmakers are holding a hearing on debanking. It's coming just 1 week after a top bank regulator found 9 large banks cut off certain companies. Fox Business's Darren Botello joins us now from Capitol Hill with more. What's the latest, Darren?
Hi, good afternoon, Jackie. After that hearing yesterday, Senate Democrats, they are looking to infuse more cash into the federal government. They're looking for probes into top banks to find whistleblowers and potential debanking. On the other side, the Republicans, they're looking to outlaw this. They're looking to stop the practice, they say, of debanking based on people's political beliefs. Now, this is a bipartisan issue, as you can see from that hearing yesterday. Senate Democrats and Republicans calling out these woke banks, but for different reasons. The Democrats say they're hurting the little guy, like minority communities, and Republicans accuse them of banning certain sectors like oil and gas and firearms customers. Ranking member Democratic Senator Catherine Cortez Masto of Nevada is pushing legislation to beef up the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau to investigate claims of debanking, and yesterday she accused President Trump of working against millions of Americans on that front.
The president is destroying the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which leaves people without an agency to respond when they feel they have been unfairly treated. If we want to make sure that all Americans have a fair access to banking, they also need fair access to consumer protection.
Meanwhile, the Republicans want to treat the banks more like public utilities, and banks need to show actual proof that customers are committing fraud in order to close an account.
Law-abiding Americans and U.S. businesses deserve to be banked, full stop. When access to these services are denied, not because of risk or creditworthiness or illegal activity, but because of politics, religious beliefs, or involvement in a legal but disavowed industry, we have a serious problem that demands congressional action.
And Jackie, as you said, the OCC last week, they released that report accusing the 9 largest banks in the nation of committing debanking. They're looking into those allegations. Those banks have now said that they have not committed any debanking. Jackie?
Darren Botello, thank you so much. And there are multiple examples where people allege that they were debanked based on politics, religion.
Trump was debanked.
Melania says she was debanked. So, you know, this definitely is an issue, Brian, and I'm thinking about it, about where we go from here. The female senator was talking about consumer protection. Well, where were they protecting the consumers who were saying that this is happening to me?
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know what she's talking about. It sounds like she's got some kind of liberal progressive agenda for, I don't know.
Well, all the left wants to keep this Consumer Protection Financial Board, and they'll make up any excuse, even including that absurdity that she just said.
Here's what you need to get rid of, okay? All of this stems from an authority that Congress gave regulators to regulate for reputational risk, okay? They said, you get to regulate this, and you get to define what reputational risk is. Who knows what reputational risk is? Well, guess what? If you're a regulator and you're kind of on the left, you decide. Reputational risk is, you know, bad things like firearms and crypto and shopping at Dick's Sporting Goods and all these things. And so they make it that, and then they tell the bank, well, you know, this customer here, transactions, firearms transactions, that's a reputational risk. And the bank says, if these regulators are telling me that's a risk, what do I need to do?
Exactly.
I got to shut it down because they'll shut me down.
Well, that's why
this is a function of regulation, Brian. Thank you.
So what I'm saying is what they need to do is get rid of that reputational risk authority that regulators
Just so you
have.
know, it's gone. They took it out of it was in the OCC manual. Trust me, I did a lot of reporting.
Well, I don't know. Tim
gone.
Scott and Andy Barr have legislation to, in fact, do that legislatively.
No, the reason why is because they can put it back in the manual. So they want to ensconce it in
they've got to pass a law.
I spoke with their people about this. But here's the interesting thing about this whole thing. It is literally, banking is literally the most regulated entity. I've covered business for years. There's no business that's more regulated than banking. It's essentially, they've turned these things into utilities. When you're a utility, you answer to essentially your main regulator, who in this case is the executive branch. The executive branch, meaning Biden, literally overrode every common sense, I guess, interpretation of what is reputational risk and put a political spin on it. So the Biden administration had a war against crypto. Thus, crypto couldn't get banked. Biden administration had a war against conservatives. writ large. They couldn't get
Payday
banked.
lending, adult entertainment,
By the way,
oil and gas.
Donald Trump, I've spoken with Eric Trump about this. They went to bank after bank after bank after January 6th, after he left office, and they couldn't get in any major bank. They actually settled on some community banks, and it was like a very expensive patchwork of banking that they had to create to essentially have the Trump organization have access to financing. So remember, this comes from the regulations. The CFPB is a toothless nothing. It didn't step in because Biden ran it. And again, the only way to get rid of it is to either change the manual, which can be changed again if
that's why you need legislation. That's why you need
But before legislation, Taylor, they're using the classic defense of the banks are. We didn't do it. You know, and when they're testifying on Capitol Hill there and they're doing these hearings, that is not a court of law to prove whether they did it or not.
I agree. Look, I think you and I have talked about how many executives, we were talking about Ford yesterday, we've often thrown out Jamie Dimon is one of them, can easily blow with the wind based on how they think the regulatory regime or the executive branch is shifting at any given moment. I would argue not your job as a fiduciary. Your fiduciary as the CEO is to know your customer and to serve that customer. But when you have a regulator breathing down your neck, I see that, which is why you have to change the law. Jackie, this is a side note, but I like it because it brings up more competition. We even talked about PayPal applying to become a bank and applying for their charter license. They want to be a bank to small businesses, given some of the loosening up of the regulations. I like this. That's more competition. I want more banks to be serving small businesses. They want to do more industrial loans, interest-bearing accounts.
Unfortunately, you're not going to get that because the way the banking laws are created right now, you can't survive unless you're big. I mean, you can get niche businesses like PayPal.
Well, I like
but
that
you
they're
need
applying. More competition.
But they'll never be able to service a business like a firearm manufacturer because they're just not big enough. They don't have the breadth of services. And the way it's essentially worked right now, and it's been this way since the financial crisis, there are like 8 big banks. And the government kind of likes it that way.
And the reason these companies, these industries were debanked, Charlie and Brian, what I'm getting is basically this was CYA from the banks. They were
that's true.
Covering their behinds.
Because Biden was breathing down their necks.
Right, because they didn't want to be involved in crypto.
The Biden
they didn't
Fed and everything, and the OCC, you name it.
That's what I'm fearful, though, is the Republicans are demanding more regulation, not deregulation, Taylor, to your point, that can make PayPal or new entrants into the economy really give these big banks a run for their money.
Well, no, some of them are calling for deregulation. I mean, that's what the Financial Integrity and Regulation Management Act would remove reputational risk regulation.
Yeah, but I think that law is
like that is deregulation.
That law essentially says you cannot use that reputational risk.
Yeah.
You know, when it comes down to it, this is definitional, right? And you're a bank regulator and your company, you know, what's the definition of is? That was kind of Bill Clinton's line to get out of the whole Monica Lewinsky thing, right? And it's the same thing. What is reputational risk? Well, if Trump's in office, reputational risk is and anything goes.
That's
right?
why you got to get rid of it.
That's why you got to get rid of it.
That's why you got to get rid of it. That's why these guys want to.
They hate. Biden tried to put crypto out of business, so of course they weren't going to get banked.
Get rid of it or not, how about the executive doesn't breathe down the necks of social media companies or banks, telling them what they should and shouldn't be doing and allow business to be conducted in a normal, fair way? That wouldn't be a terrible thing either.